Hello everyone, it is Tuesday, March 2nd, 2010, and this is your daily dose of reptile news. Oh, PETA. Must we go through this again? PETA was on the news expressing their concern about the recent announcement of the python hunting season in Florida. I shall read you their exact statement as they said it. So far, local animal rights activists have not spoken out loudly against the coming eradication effort, but that could change once the hunters descend. Hunters more interested in fob in snake meat, for example, or the resale value of their skin, says Martin Merceru, I believe it is, director of PETA's Emergency Response Division. The last thing we need is a clumsy and crude massacre of these animals who, through no fault of their own, and due to the exotic animal trade and the ignorance of people who pay into that, ended up abandoned in Florida wilds. If we need to get rid of these animals, they need to be rounded up and euthanized by a qualified wildlife expert. Don't put a bounty on their heads and expect every yahoo with an itchy trigger finger to do right. Oh, PETA. Let me explain to you once again with a few pictures that may take up the entire screen on the only reason why we continue to put up with you. So, that being said or seen, shut up, PETA. Nobody's listening. On March 23rd in Palm Desert, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is putting on a public hearing and looking for public comment. Everybody can't travel down there, but for the people that are there, they should probably show up and give the public comment. This is on the issue of a 1993 proposed rule for placing the flat-tailed horned lizard on the protected species list. Show up, comment, do us all proud. Here's a pretty interesting one that I found in my inbox that I thought everybody would like. Apparently, scientists have found a 67 million year old snake fossil eating a baby dinosaur. That's pretty cool. Pictures right up here, you can see it. Not too much to say. Once again, they have a picture of the actual fossil and a little artist rendering of the snake and the nest with the eggs and everything. So check that out. Next, out of Washington, where they're saying a common weed killer is chemically castrating frogs. Atrazine, I believe is how it's pronounced. They have found chemically castrates frogs in the areas that it's used. I don't know. I've got some land, I've got some weeds. I do spray weed killer out there from time to time around the house. Mainly I spray bug killer though, which I think is probably a little worse for the frogs. I don't know, maybe. And here's a good learning lesson out of Indiana for everybody. I've heard a lot of comments in the forums about the proper way to heat pet reptiles. I've heard of some people asking about and using devices that are not designed for said heating of pet reptiles, such as human heating pads and stuff like that. I had a very close call many years ago. I had a snake on a shelf and I used a human heating pad temporarily, and luckily for me I went to clean the cage and realized that the heating pad had started to burn the wood on the top of the shelf, and so we don't recommend that. And anyway, this a classroom in Indiana caught on fire. The people apparently had a heating light on a snake, and I believe it was 3 different extension cords that were attached to this light to get it to the cage. And yeah, go figure, there was a short, there was a fire. Apparently the main damage, the fire damage was held into that one classroom, but there was smoke damage in the entire school, and the school was closed for the day. So kids, adults, teachers, whoever, don't string extension cords 300 miles to run your lights. Move the cage, plug the light right into the wall. Don't, there's so many resources out there that you can just tap right into and get the answers you need for this stuff. Research. Thank you. Anyway, that's all the news for today. So if you want to read any more about the stories, links are in the sidebar right there. And don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And your question for Tuesday, March 2nd, 2010, is, have you ever strung extension cords across a room or used any unrecommended heating methods for heating your reptiles? Leave a text response or a video response. Don't forget, link in the sidebar to the vlog. Check that out. I just posted a new video on an outdoor fence lizard enclosure, so that ought to be good. Well, I know it's good because I already watched it. I put it up there, but you probably like it. It's pretty neat. I've had one before, and it's pretty neat watching those things outside interact just like they would in the wild. You can just go right out in your backyard and see it. So anyway, that's it. Enjoy. Be good to each other.